Welcome back. Now, the Delimitation Commission, which was looking into the delimitation process for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, has today signed its final order. The order has now gone to the Government of India to get a final approval from the Union Cabinet. Now, amid a lot of criticism and a political controversy in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the Commission has now decided to increase the number of assembly constituencies in Jammu and Kashmir, which is being seen as one single entity, from 83 to 90 seats. In a rather interesting move, they have also now proposed 9 seats that are predominantly going to be ST seats, which are scheduled tribe seats. They have also, interestingly, ensured this time around that all the 5 parliamentary constituencies, which is the Lok Sabha seats cutting across Jammu and Kashmir, will have equal number of assembly segments. Now, this has also caught the ire of the opposition, which from day one, since the delimitation process began, has been alleging that there is an attempt by the BJP to make the delimitation or to make constituencies which at the end of the day will suit them. Remember that the Government of India is also hoping that once the entire process is complete and the protocol is followed, Jammu and Kashmir could go to the polls, would go and follow the democratic process somewhere during the end of the year, along with the assembly elections of Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. We will be discussing what does this mean for a political future of a union territory like Jammu and Kashmir, because this entire process happening just a couple of years after the Article 370 was abrogated by the central government. But first up, let's start by listening into the political reactions coming in from the commission member.
किस डिलिमिटेशन की बात कर रहे हो आप? वो डिलिमिटेशन जो बीजेपी का एक्सटेंशन बना हुआ है, जिन्होंने जो आबादी का जो बेसिस है उसको दरकिनार करके जैसे उनका दिल किया, जिस इलाके को जहां जोड़ा जहां तोड़ा, ये तो इसको हम पूरी तरह रिजेक्ट करते हैं। हमें तो इस पे कोई भरोसा नहीं है। ये जो 370 को जिस दिन हटाया गया, उसके साथ ये जो डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन है, इसकी जो सिफारिशात हैं, ये उसी की कड़ी है कि किस तरह जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों के इख्तियारात कम से कम किया जाए, इनको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कमज़ोर किया जाए, किस तरह इनको डिसएम्पावर किया जाए, ये उसी की कड़ी है और कुछ भी नहीं।
क्लियरली जो हमारी डिमांड थी और जो हमारी रिकमेंडेशंस थी नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की, वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं हुई है, क्योंकि हमारा बेसिक प्रमाइस ये था कि जो अनफेयर सीट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हुआ है, दे हैव स्टक टू दैट अनफेयर सीट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। दूसरी ये बात कि जिस तरीके से जो हमने कंसर्न्स रेज़ किए थे उन पे भी जो है कोई गौर नहीं किया गया है। बीजेपी और उनकी प्रॉक्सीज़ उन्होंने बहुत कोशिश की कि अपने तरीके से ये इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसीज़ के बाउंड्रीज़ बनाने के लिए, लेकिन मुझे और मेरी पार्टी को पूरी उम्मीद है कि जब भी यहाँ पे इलेक्शंस डिक्लेयर होंगे, इनको करारा जवाब हमारा वोटर देगा।
हमें उम्मीद है इसमें सभी खित्तों को ध्यान रखा जाएगा, और ख़ास करके जो पिछले दिनों पब्लिक डोमेन में रिपोर्ट आई थी और उसके बाद डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन ने भी डीडीसी, बीडीसी, इस प्रकार के सभी मेंबर्स को, पंचायतों के लोगों को और डीसी के माध्यम से, रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट के माध्यम से पूरी रिपोर्ट लेकर के, लेकिन उम्मीद है कि ये सभी वर्गों का ध्यान रखते हुए, सभी इलाकों का ध्यान रखते हुए एक अच्छी रिपोर्ट, जिसके कारण से कि इलेक्शन भी हो सकेंगे और ये सारी चीज़ें पॉसिबिलिटीज़ होंगी।
It's a matter of great satisfaction that the Delimitation Commission of India has finally, in its report, recommended that 2 Kashmiri Pandits should be nominated to the J&K Assembly on the basis of the Puducherry example, where nominations are done along with the voting rights to the nominated members. We are highly thankful to the Delimitation Commission that they have endorsed our exile, they have endorsed the situation in which we are living, and also have endorsed our being stakeholders in the socio-political scenario of Jammu and Kashmir state.
आज एक नोटिफिकेशन इशू कर दिया है, इसमें कि ये 90 अपनी एसीज हैं, असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज, और 5 पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी हैं। तो जो 90 अपनी एसीज हैं, उनमें से जो 43 हैं वो हमारी जम्मू रीजन में हैं, और 47 जो हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज हैं वो वैली रीजन में हैं। ये ध्यान रखा गया है कि एक ज़िले में ही सारी एसीज हों जो अपने एक ज़िले से संबंधित हैं। पहले असल में क्या था कि जो एसीज थी वो कई ज़िलों में बटी हुई थी, तो एक ही एमएलए जो है वो कई ज़िलों में जा रहा है, जिससे लोगों को भी परेशानी हो रही है, प्रशासन को भी परेशानी हो रही है। तो कमीशन इस बात का पूरी तरह ध्यान रखा है कि जो एसीज हैं वो एक ही ज़िले के अंतर्गत हों।
All right. So amidst the criticism coming in from the opposition, BJP has come out and said that they hope that this is something that is going to be acceptable to all. Let me open this up. On the panel right now is spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Seperate, PDP spokesperson Mohit Bhan, and activist Rakesh Handu also on the broadcast with us. I want to start by going to Mr. Mohit Bhan, who is on the who's joining us on the phone line. Mr. Bhan, the BJP says that there is no criticism whatsoever, there is no discrimination, but this is probably for the very first time where both Jammu and Kashmir are seen as a single entity. And if you look at the number of constituencies that have been divided, 47 for Kashmir, 43 for Jammu. So they still believe that for the first time, Jammu and Kashmir have finally come at par.
Look, you are saying that, okay, Jammu and Kashmir have come at par, you have given 47 to Kashmir, 46, but is there any, it's a job done by an institution set on certain laws, certain principles. When you set aside those principles and then execute an order, that is what is questionable. We are not against that why Jammu has been given X number of seats or why Kashmir has been given X number of seats. What we are against is that how the basic principle of delimitation has been kept aside, and then this commission has executed an order which has come rightly from the BJP headquarters. The BJP leaders in Jammu already knew that which area was going to which party, and there were the audios of the BJP state president, JNK president, viral on the internet. How come he was already aware that what area is going where? So what we are questioning is that the idea of delimitation has been kept on a shelf, and the agenda of BJP to divide people in the name of religion, in the name of caste and creed, has been implemented. So that is primarily our objection to the entire delimitation. The second thing is that the matter is sub judice. It is in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has recently said that they have started listening to this from the month of July. So if the Supreme Court rejects the entire proposal of 370 and 35A, so all this delimitation goes for a toss. So what is the hurry for doing it? So, why can't they wait for till 2026 and go with the entire country and do the delimitation? We are not against that at all. So they are, just keeping all these laws and all these the basic proposal of delimitation aside, and executing the agenda of a particular party. So that is what we are principally against.
Since you're calling this an agenda, I'm going to let Sunil Sethi respond to the allegations coming in, not only from the PDP but also from the National Conference. Mr. Sunil Sethi, please come in.
See, as we see this delimitation commission report, this is historic. I think for the first time, the Jammu region has also got the justice which has been denied to it for 70 years. Now that the justice is being done to all regions, not only Jammu, Kashmir, also all regions, and it is equality which is prevailing. For a democracy, for a healthy democracy to be in Jammu and Kashmir, there has to be equality amongst all the segment of the society. See, you are talking about making the bridge between Jammu and Kashmir. What bridge will be there if there is inequality? One part is 10 feet, another part is 100 feet. And if you say that this delimitation commission report is in violation of any provisions of law, please challenge it. In this delimitation commission report, the population is the basic criteria. But wherever the other criteria are coming, like connectivity, like terrain, topography, like conveniences, those have been taken into consideration. See, earlier constituencies, one constituency of 20,000 votes and another constituency of more than 2 lakhs votes. Do you want that illegality to continue for all the times to come? And if you're talking about the parliamentary seat, 5 parliamentary seats getting distributed equally amongst the 2 regions, Jammu region and Kashmir region, we don't see Jammu and Kashmir as 2 regions. We see it as a composite unit. So if one constituency is separating between Jammu division also and Kashmir division also, what is wrong in that? That will be making
okay, so you're saying there's nothing wrong in it. All right. Okay, Mr. Rakesh Handu, but how do you think this entire delimitation process is going to change the political scenario, if at all it does?
I would like to tell you, ma'am, it was in the month of July when Delimitation Commission visited Jammu and Kashmir. I, being a representative of a political party, which is the only political party registered with the Election Commission of India, of Kashmiri exiled community, which is scattered across the globe, we requested them that to whatever 2011 census was done, how can that census be taken on the basis of that you can do delimitation, because we are 5 lakh Kashmiri Pandits who are scattered outside Jammu and Kashmir. The second question what we raised them was ki whenever there is an assembly election from last 32 years, we have been put to the task like we have to fill M form, we have to have option of 12C, we have to go to door. This will only help, the reservation will only help to raise the small issue. But the ultimately issue after Kashmir files is, which I think Modi ji and the BJP government has also indirectly acknowledged, that is genocide. Till the time genocide is not recognized, it is not, accepted on the floor of the parliament, when they can remove Article 370 and 35A, why our genocide is pending, why they are not accepting 1990, there was a genocide of Kashmiri Hindus. This is a temporary solution. And secondly, when I can just show you, I have a memorandum in front of me. We had suggested them, ki please give us homeland. If you can separate Ladakh, which is a population of 2.5 lakhs, we are more than 5 lakh Kashmiri Hindus living scattered. You can make Ladakh as a union territory. Ladakh is also divided into 2 parts. Kargil is a Muslim-dominated place. Ladakh is a Buddhist-dominated place. Why people are not making today hue and cry that you are dividing Jammu and Kashmir on communal basis? Why only for Kashmiri Pandits? Why people like Mahbooba, Mufti and others, they have a problem? Why don't they come in support of us? On the one way, on one hand they say we welcome Kashmiri Pandits, they should come back to their roots, and on the other hand they are opposing. Whatever fight they have with Jammu, whatever Jammu fight has with Kashmir, that Kashmiri Pandits have nothing to do with it.
What is Mr. Mohit Bhan, who continues to stay on the phone line. Mr. Handu, please give me a second. Let me take that question to Mohit Bhan. Mr. Mohit Bhan, what is the official stand of the PDP when the commission has now proposed that the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir should compulsorily have representatives coming in from the Kashmiri Pandit refugee community, which also have been a key stakeholder community in this entire talk or process of delimitation today? All right, we seem to have lost that audio line with Mohit Bhan. But Mr. Sunil, one of the key allegations that are also coming in from the opposition ranks is that apart from the fact that this is a process that was done to favor the BJP, they're also saying that different parts of Kashmir and Jammu, which have been amalgamated as one, the geographical differentiation has not been taken into consideration. So what they are saying is, when the geographical considerations are not kept in mind, what has been done is basically flawed, and there are multiple discrepancies which they are willing to move the court against as well. Mr. Sunil Sethi, that question is for you.
Yes, ma'am. See, what is now happening is, if we talk about the nomination rights which is being given to the Kashmiri Pandit community and also to the refugees from POJK. These are the two communities. POJK refugees are getting the right of consideration, right of sitting in the assembly after 70 years. Nobody has heard them for 70 years. See, these are the rights which are available to them under Article 239A now, because Jammu Kashmir is following Pondicherry model. Number one. Number two, my friend was saying that if Article 370 petition is pending before Supreme Court, what is the need of doing delimitation? Can we stop everything because the petition is pending under before Supreme Court under 370? See, Supreme Court, the petition was pending, the request was made for granting the interim relief for the stay, but the Supreme Court has not granted any interim stay. The government has to function. The people have to have the faith in the democracy. This is the dance of the democracy in Jammu and Kashmir for the first time. The representative rights are being given.
Now that Mr. Mohit Bhan is back on the broadcast with us, Mr. Mohit Bhan, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, I can hear you.
Okay. Mr. Mohit Bhan, I want to ask you, now since PDP and the National Conference has been saying that this is a process that has been done to basically benefit the BJP, PDP, the National Conference are the actual regional political parties of Jammu and Kashmir. Are you telling me that a party like the BJP, which has always been seen as an outsider party in Jammu and Kashmir, is strong enough that if at all there are assembly elections that take place end of the year, you're saying that they can actually trump the PDP and the National Conference? Shouldn't the stand of regional political parties be that they are willing to prove that whatever said and done, the people of this union territory are willing to support us and the BJP?
See, I am not denying, I completely agree with you, and in the BBC elections they have tested the waters, contesting against the BJD, and how PAGD emerged victorious there. So the question is not about beating PDP or National Conference or BJP competing with us. The question is the basic principle. It's an institution. An Election Commission of India was part of it, and it's being used by the political party. So if the criteria of delimitation across the country is population, how come there are 7 constituencies in Jammu region which has only 70,000 population, and the same constituencies have 2 lakh population in Srinagar? So the division of the constituencies on the basis of population is not appropriate. So they have violated rule number 1 there. So rule number 2, they say that, okay, it is to ease the geographical or to give the geographical access to the people. Again, when it comes to the geographical access, it's a blatant lie. So because, they have put a part of Bandipura with the part of Baramulla, or within the parliamentary constituency of Anantnag and Rajouri. If an elected member parliament of this constituency, he has to travel for 3 days. Or a voter, if he has to meet his member parliament, he has to travel for 3 days to reach to his elected representative. So it is neither they are able to do justice to the geographical access, neither they are able to do justice with the population. So all these are excuses. So what they have essentially done is that they have divided the regions in a way which will only suit, because they cannot beat the two powerhouses in JNK, which is NC and PDP. So to bulldoze that, they have divided the constituencies in a way which will suit them. So also,
but the fact is, Mr. Mohit, despite whatever the PDP, the National Conference, or other political parties, the regional political parties of Jammu and Kashmir might be saying, the Delimitation Commission has ended their entire process. In fact, what they have said, that they have taken into consideration and taken into account all the suggestions and feedback that they got from the various stakeholders. The meetings of which is going on for more than a year now, and finally the reports will be submitted to the Government of India. We have to wait and see how this pans out, whether this is going to be legally challenged by political parties like the PDP or National Conference, or whether we will finally see assembly elections taking place in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir towards the end of the year, along with Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. Mr. Mohit Bhan, Mr. Hamdu, and Mr. Sunil say thank you very much for joining me here on Inside Scoop and sharing your perspectives about what's in store for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir.